averages are for average people and exceptions are for exceptional people. This is something that I just recently released on my Instagram. And I think what's important to understand about this is that your averages become what you get used to. So if you want to be able to step out of what your comfort zone is or being in this mode of average, you need to do two things. The first thing you need to do is you need to surround yourself with people that are where you want to be. So this is, we've heard this a million times, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with most. But what will happen is just as you begin to hang around with them, let's just use numbers for example, if they're at a 200 and you're at a 100, just by being around them naturally, you're going to move to somewhere in between where you are and where they are, around like 150. So just starting to be around those people. So now I always hear the number one complaint about this is like, how do I start hanging around with people that are doing what I want to do? Well, one is you can actually just seek those people out and ask them if you can buy them lunch or just go hang out with them and like by reaching out to them and just taking that step. There's very few people that are actually doing that, So I think one, you could just do that. Two, though, is you actually don't have to hang around with these people. You can get access to these people through books and biographies, and this is what I do. I've read the biographies of, some of the greatest people that have lived in our time. Like Nelson Mandela, Steve Jobs, the people that were able to do extraordinary things in the short period of their life. So you can just access those people through reading their biographies, reading their books. But also I think there's a lot of value in just like reaching out to someone that's already doing what you want to do and just saying, hey, can I buy you lunch? Like there's really no one doing that. Like I've never had anyone ask me that, right? So it's like, and I'm at a level that's, in the top 5%. So it's like, why aren't you messaging me and saying, hey, let's go for lunch, right? So there's number one. The second thing that you can do though is once a day, do something for 10 minutes, only 10 minutes, that's completely outside of your comfort zone, okay? So this is what this is gonna do, is gonna retrain your brain to start making the things that are uncomfortable to you become comfortable. So if you're at a 100 and you wanna move to a 150, what are the things that a 150 would do in a day? And even though it's going to be insanely uncomfortable in the beginning, just start doing 10 minutes of that every single day. So for example, for me, like applying this to my own personal business here, my coaching system, one of the things that would be uncomfortable for me to do would be to dig deeper into understanding Facebook ads. So for 10 minutes a day, I'm going to play around with, run Facebook ads, run different campaigns, create landing pages. So for 10 minutes a day, I'm gonna do step outside of my comfort zone and go into that Facebook advertising world, okay? And then what will happen is that will become my new normal. That will become my average. And if you learn how to do this, it's like you're just gonna naturally move from that 100 level to 120, 130, and eventually you're gonna move up to 200 where you wanna be. So if you implement those two things, just start being around people that you wanna be like, that already have the traits and the qualities that you want, through reading books or through actually reaching out to them. And then every single day, do something outside of your comfort zone that is gonna move you to that next level. And then the more you do this, you're gonna be able to expand that 10 minutes to 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and it's gonna become your new normal or your new average. This is how you move to the next level of life. We experience the greatest amount of happiness when we're growing and when we're productive. And the hurdle that holds us from taking that leap is that it's uncomfortable. And we have resistance, and the ego wants to say, no, don't do it, stay safe, because that's what the ego is designed to do, is to keep us safe. But in order to start transcending that ego, we need to start taking small baby steps to get outside of our comfort zone every single day. If you do this, you're going to be able to continue to grow. You're going to end up being happy. You're going to start getting addicted to the feeling of moving to the next level, and that's where you're going to find your joy and your happiness and your bliss. I heard this saying recently that I'm blissfully dissatisfied, meaning I'm super happy with where I'm at in my life. I'm super grateful every single day, but I always have this yearning to learn more about myself, learn more about where I can go to the next level, learn more from other people. So while I'm content with where I'm at, I am still dissatisfied and I still want to keep moving forward. And I express that dissatisfaction by doing that 10% or that 10 minutes a day that slowly creeps me out of my comfort zone, so it's not so scary. It's not this big gigantic leap. If you implement those two things, you're going to get to a place where you get to the exceptional. and you stop playing at average.